Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this holiday glam look for you guys. I wanted to do something like really bold and green, and this is what I came up with. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get started. I've already moisturized my face. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Fenty Beauty Soft Silk Primer. This is a great primer for extra hydration. What I do is basically just put it on the perimeters of my face, especially on my chin where I normally get really dry. So I'm just going to spread that all over. And then I'm going to go in with the Revlon Photoready Pore Reducing Primer. This primer has been a really good primer for me, guys. It has literally filled in my pores. It's made that area look really smooth. So I have been loving it. I actually saw it at Ulta for like $6.25. So I went ahead and picked up another one. I think there was only one more left. I should have picked up two because I really love this stuff. And I mainly put it here where I do have issues with pores. Okay, I want to go ahead and get started with my eyes first. So I am going to go in with my Louise Base Pro Primer, and this is in the shade Rumor 2. I have been loving this primer. It's really, really good. I just put a little bit, just a tad bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to go in with a brush and spread that all over my eyelids. This spreads really nicely with the brush. Just makes my eyelids look really nice and prepped for the eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with the Viseart Dark Edit palette. I am going to be using the green shades in this palette. I do have another eyeshadow that I want to show you guys that I'm going to be using today as well. But I'm only going to be using like these shades here. The green shade, the olive shade, and then this brown shade. I don't think I'm going to go in with any other shades from this palette other than those because I want to do a really bold green eye look. I am going to set my eyeshadow primer with the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Brulee. It's just a really light cream shade. And I'm just going to set my eyelids. Now I will say with this palette, I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping the eyeshadows in here. There's two eyeshadows that are really the ones giving me the issue because every time I open the palette, they pop out. Now I do have this cover that I put on top of it so that they don't fall out all the time, but that's why I was kind of holding it like this, showing you guys, because I have two shades right here that just are constantly popping out. So I might have to get some glue and just kind of glue them down because I don't plan on moving them around at all. I'm going to go ahead and use my Sonia G Blender Pro, and I'm going to go into this olive green shade right here. It's right here in the middle, and I'm going to use that as my crease color. Kind of like a transition color for the other greens that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to put that in the crease. I've been trying to grow my eyebrows out, so if they look kind of funny, that's why. I'm trying to grow them out and get them shaped. I was going to get micro blading. I think that's what it's called, micro blading. I was going to get that, but I'm kind of afraid to do it because I have this scar that's right here. So I don't know. That's why I decided to go ahead and just grow them out just to see if I can get them shaped. I might even get them tinted just to see how that works out. So I'm blending this shade out because I want it to be really nice and light. I don't want it to be too harsh. It's going to be like my transition color for the other greens. I want to blend it really well. And I'm not having trouble blending at all. These Viseart shades are so easily blendable. I'm not having any problems with that. So just like that, I'm going to do the other eye. Now what I want to do is go in with this green shade right here. And I'm going to use my Sonia G Crease Pro brush. And I'm going to just dip it into the shade. And then I'm just going to dab it onto the corner. Kind of dab it there on the outer corner. And then with the leftover, I'm going to bring it into the crease. But I'm mainly focusing on the outer corner here. And if it doesn't look perfect, we're going to blend all that out. Okay, so I am going in with a Sydney Grace eyeshadow. I bought 3 Sydney Grace eyeshadows a while back, and I really haven't used any of them. These are all 3 of them here. I don't know the names of the shades right now, but I will list them down below if you guys are interested. But the one that I'm going to use today looks like this. and it's called Chameleon Air. This is a very bright, very intense metallic shade. I will swatch it for you guys so you guys can see how super metallic this is. That is it right there. So that's what I'm gonna use all over the lid today. Before I go in with that shade, I do wanna use this P. Louise cosmetic base. It's in the shade Taking It to the Dark Side. I'm actually gonna use this as my base for that green shade. Now those Sydney Grace eyeshadows don't really need a lot of help because they're very intense, as you saw when I swatched it with my finger, but that is swatching it with your finger. If you are gonna lay it down with your finger on your eyelid, you're gonna get that intensity. But with using a brush, it is a little bit different. So I wanna go ahead and place a base so that I can have that same intensity with the brush. So I'm just putting a little bit on my brush and I'm just gonna dab it over the area where I want to place that green shade. Anytime you use a dark base, you will get a more intensified shade. So if you're using like a blue shade and you want it to be really, really blue, I would go in with a dark base, just like this one. And I'm just actually outlining my lid where I want it. So I'm gonna let that dry just for a minute, not even a minute, just a few seconds. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Chameleon Air with the MAC 242 and I'm just gonna press it onto the lid. Do you see the intensity in that? That's what you get when you put a dark base down. The green shade is gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. I really love this. It just looks as beautiful as it does on their website. Sydney Grace is a brand that I had never heard of until I heard Mel Thompson talking about it. So when she talked about those metallic shades, I went online and I immediately picked up 3 of them. And like I said, I will put all 3 down below and I'll list the names of each one of them. So now what I wanna do is I wanna kind of deepen up that corner. I am gonna go back in with that forest green shade and I'm just gonna darken up that crease. Or just kind of blend everything together. And then what I want to do, I want to take this smaller brush by Morphe, it's the M305, and I'm going to use the darkest shade in the Viseart palette, and it's this black shade right here. I want to use that shade just on the corner just to add some depth to that eye look. So it's not going to be all over. I'm just placing very little right here on the outside, just very, very little. I don't want the black to overpower the green in this look, so I'm only adding it for depth. Just like that, nothing major. I need to smooth that area out, so I'm just gonna take a clean brush. I'm just taking this Sigma Diffuse Crease Brush. It's an E38, and I'm just going to clean up that area where it's kind of harsh, so I want that smoothness there, and I want it blended really nicely. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of the olive green to this brush that I just used to diffuse that line, and I'm just gonna go over that area just with a little bit, not a lot. So now I want to go in with foundation, and I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Love this foundation for times when I'm going to an event or I'm going out. This is in the shade number 8. So I will be using that with the Beaky Beauty sponge. I love these sponges. They're so good, guys, and they're really, really cheap. You actually get like 5 sponges in a package. I think it was like $9.99. I'm gonna go ahead and dab this all over. Oh, before I do that, let me do something real quick. I do want to put this Becca Anti-Fatigue Primer. It's this one right here on my under eyes. Okay, so now we can start with the foundation. So next I'm going to go in with the Hollywood Flawless Filter in number 5. I'm going to use this because I want a little more glow to my skin. Just want to dab it on where I want more glow. See, it adds a little glow. I love the way that looks. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury color corrector. This is in the shade number 2. This is actually what it looks like. I love this corrector because it blocks out like those areas where I have really dark under eyes. So I'm just going to dab it on with this brush because my nails are too long, and I love this shade for correcting. See this eye and this eye? It just really brightens up the eye, and then it covers that darkness. You don't need a lot of this stuff, guys. A little goes a long way. So when you dip your brush in there, don't go crazy. Just dip it in very lightly. So now I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer. I love this for special occasions because it is very full coverage and it brightens up the eye and it just looks really flawless. I'll just dab it here. I am going to put a little bit on my nose and above my lip. I'm going to use a beauty sponge to blend all that out. I'm going to use a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape in Tan just for those areas where I feel like I need a tad bit more coverage, but not too much. I'm using very little. So I'm going to go ahead and set my face with my Mer Powder, and I'm going to use the Sonia G Master Face brush. I am going to go over this with the All Hours Setting Powder from YSL. I'm in the shade B60. I'm just going to lightly go over the perimeters of my face with this powder. This powder is simply gorgeous on the skin. It's good to set your makeup with, or even to put it over powder you've already set your face with. So I really love this stuff. I am going to go into bronzer. Of course, I'm going to use my favorite Jouer bronzer. It's in Sunswept Duo Medium to Deep. So I'm going to use the Sonia G Soft Cheek. I love this because it's pointed and I can actually get in there for like a light contour. And I go in with the darker shade first. Then I'll just go on the perimeters, contouring the sides of my temples and then the bottom of my chin. And then I'll take it and I'll go into the lighter shade right there. I'll kind of blend everything together. Just on my cheeks, not anywhere else. Now I'm going to go in with highlight. So for highlight, I'm going to go into the Milk Makeup Blitzed highlight, and it looks like this. Just really beautiful. I'm going to use my Anastasia brush. It's the Anastasia A23 highlight brush, and I'm going to use this on the top of my cheekbones. I'm going to put a little bit on the top of my lip, a little bit over my eyebrows, and then just a tad bit on my nose. That's it right there. Super, super gorgeous. Love this highlighter. For blush, I'm going to go in with the Patrick Ta blush, and this is in the shade She's Seductive. This is a shade that you could actually use with any look, and it's going to look great. It's a very neutral shade. I'm going in with my Classic Cheek Brush by Sonia G. Okay, so I forgot to set my under eyes. I'm just going to go back in, see if there's any creases that I need to smooth out. And there really isn't. So I'm using this e.l.f. brush. It's a highlighting brush to go ahead and set my under eyes. And I set it with a Secret Blurring Powder for Under Eye by Laura Mercier. So now I'm going to go ahead and go do my eyebrows, and then when I come back we'll go ahead and finish the lower lash line, and then we'll do lips. I'll be right back. Okay guys, now we're going to go into the lower lash line. I am going to be using that olive green shade in the palette, and I'm going to be using the Sonia G Pencil Pro brush. I'm just going to go in to that lower lash line first with that shade. I'm going to blend it out really well because I want it to kind of look a little bit faded, so I can lay that other shade on top of it. That looks really pretty. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with that green shade below it. It's the forest green shade that we went into earlier. And I'm just putting it mainly on the corner here and then blending it into that green shade. But it's mainly focused like on the corner, the outer, not the outer corner, but you know, it's not coming all the way through. And I do want to put some mascara on the bottom lashes. So for mascara, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Great Lash Waterproof Mascara in Berry Black. I used to use this mascara back in the day, like all the time. So I am going to use this for my lower lashes. I hope that they don't smear because that's going to be really upsetting to me after I've worked so hard on this eye look. So I will take off some of the excess. And I'm not going to put a ton. I think I'm going to take my fan and dry it. Hopefully this mascara will not smear. This is an old school mascara that I have truly loved for many years, and I stopped using it, and so I went ahead and purchased one just to see if it works the same way it did back in the day. So yeah, it looks good right now. I didn't put a bunch on, but I put enough just to give my lashes a little bit of oomph. So anyway, let's go ahead and do lips. I am going to go in with my new Patrick Ta lip liner in She's Proud. I have the She's Strong lip liner and I love it. This one's just as creamy and beautiful as the other one. I am going to go in with the Patrick Ta cream lipstick, and this one is in She's Independent. And then I'm going to go in with She's Unapologetic, and I'm just going to put that on the center. And then to top the cream lipstick off, I'm going to go in with a Kim K Radiate Lip Gloss. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Setting Spray. It's the weightless setting spray. Shake it up really good. I want to go ahead and add the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats highlighter. This is a very glittery highlighter, so I want to go ahead and add that. I'm going to go in with this Morphe M501, and then I'm just going to press it onto my highlight. That glow is just gorgeous. So now I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, do something with my hair, and then you'll see the completed look. We'll see in a bit. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time filming it. I'm about to go to a party. One of my best friends is having a Christmas party. She has it like every year. So I am excited to go there and see friends and have some good food and just fellowship with people who I have not seen in a while. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.